A shopping center's roof blows sky high. 4 men severely burned, but they survive. This is the destructive power of a natural gas leak and a spark. And just days after that explosion in Chandler last August, the ABC15 investigators were first to report the root cause, a leaking Driscopipe 8000.
It's a common kind of plastic gas line with a dangerous drawback. Look at how it can deteriorate and fail in our desert climate. Southwest Gas confirms 144 Driscopipe 8000 leaks since 1999 have been caused by this premature degradation.
Tonight, ABC15 investigator Melissa Blasius maps for us clusters of past leaks where residents had no idea about the hazard.
The ABC15 investigators headed to northwestern Arizona, Bullhead City, Fort Mojave, Topok, and Golden Shores along the Colorado River, one of the hottest, driest parts of Arizona.
My name's Melissa Blasius.
This is where our mapping showed the highest concentration of past Driscopipe 8000 leaks based on Southwest Gas reports to Arizona utility regulators.
You ever remember there being one right out here on the street somewhere?
In this area, with a population of about 60,000, there have been at least 35 Driscopipe 8000 leaks detected and fixed since 2008.
We don't know anything.
You haven't seen a lot of Southwest Gas doing work in here or anything? Okay. All right, thanks.
We found people living in places that had several previous Driscopipe 8000 leaks close together. We call them clusters, like Wishing Well Place in Fort Mojave.
That's your house.
Carl Truly and Andrew Hoffman live on this cul-de-sac with just 7 houses and 2 prior Driscopipe 8000 leaks. Carl remembers last year's Chandler explosion, but never knew the connection. He says no one even ever told him that there were any gas leaks on his street.
You're the first to bring it to my attention. But believe me, I'm really concerned about it now.
While the industry standard for plastic gas line longevity is 50 to 100 years, the pipe in front of their homes leaked in less than 25. Carl and Andrew say they want to know how much Driscopipe is still installed in their neighborhood and what's the potential for it to leak again.
I'm running a smoker right here. It's out there running for 6, 7, 8 hours. Open flame. Gas right there. Boom, it ignites. You got little kids across the street. I got little kids.
ABC15 obtained these pictures showing how some Driscopipe 8000 lines have delaminated, bubbled, become brittle, and cracked underground. Southwest Gas says the most susceptible pipes are service lines that have been disconnected for years, or stubs that were never connected to a house or business. Small diameter pipes with limited or no gas flow over extended periods in elevated temperatures.
Our weather is really extreme, and during the summertime, we can get in the 120s for weeks at a time. Please get out here and check these pipes for us.
ABC15 has mapped 141 of the prior Southwest Gas Driscopipe 8000 leaks, 35 in the Bullhead City area, 17 in the Yuma area, and 72 in the Valley, including 2 still under investigation. One at the Chandler Strip Mall last August, and in September, a leak leading to an evacuation in Scottsdale.
2 to 3 days.
Richard Arce lives in Glendale near 75th Avenue and Bethany Home. He was evacuated in 2008 after a gas leak, one of 3 leaks in his neighborhood that year.
I couldn't open my garage or anything because I was told that they were afraid that it could cause a spark.
Luckily, there was no spark, no explosion.
I left it in the past and just kind of forgot about it.
But after hearing the leaky pipe that caused his evacuation is the same type of problem pipe that caused all this destruction.
If you can get more information, I'd be interested in knowing.
The ABC15 investigators have been asking for more info for months, and this week Southwest Gas officials agreed to meet with us in person to discuss in detail what's going on.
One incident is too many, and I adamantly believe that.
Kevin Lang is the company's director of engineering services. He explains all 144 Driscopipe 8000 deterioration leaks so far occurred in inactive services or stubs. Due to internal degradation, meaning the pipe failure begins on the inside wall, deteriorating until the outside cracks.
Does that make it hard because you can't see the inside of a pipe, especially after it's underground?
And that's a really good question, and that's why, as a company, very early on, we drew a boundary around those inactive facilities and the stubs to say we are going to replace all of those.
Southwest Gas started this replacement project in 2014 after a gas explosion critically injured a Gilbert man in his garage. So far, replacing or capping off more than 67,000 inactive services and stubs in Arizona, they have 22,000 more to do. And they say they plan to finish by the end of 2023, almost a full decade after they started.
So by eliminating those facilities in their entirety, we're eliminating that potential threat in our system.
In the meantime,
Southwest Gas is still finding leaks in the system.
Yes, we do still find leaks.
according to Southwest Gas, 6 leaks in the last 8 months, although none has led to another explosion.
One leak over the course of one day could lead to a terrible incident.
Lang responded that's why Southwest Gas has layers of pipeline safety processes in place.
We realize that we distribute a highly volatile product when it's not contained within its vessel or its pipeline.
Lang says most of the leaks are being found through accelerated leak patrols. Maybe you've seen one of these cars targeting the hottest parts of our state, searching for leaking Driscopipe lines 6 times a year.
And they'll start poking holes in the ground.
Gas employees also use this equipment on foot patrols, walking the remaining inactive services and stubs in the same area also 6 times a year.
The measures that we put in place specifically with Driscopipe 8000 have been intended to focus on minimizing and eliminating that risk.
Southwest Gas operates 10,000 miles of Driscopipe 8000 in Arizona, and they point out the inactive services and stubs most at risk for leaks are a very small subset. But the ABC15 investigators found it is a big deal to people like Andrew when they learn that the pipes have leaked in the past on their block and they don't know when or if the pipes will leak again. You'd at least want a heightened level of alert.
Let people know, heads up. You're not giving nobody no heads up until what? The whole block blows up, and that's your warning, but it's too late. Thank you for investigating. I appreciate it.
We asked Southwest Gas about the right to know for people like Andrew and his neighbor Carl. The company said that customers can call the 1-800 number on your screen to ask about what kind of gas lines specifically run in front of their homes or businesses. Our reporting's not done yet. While Southwest Gas has said that there were no deterioration leaks in active service lines and mains made out of Driscopipe 8000, our door-to-door search found that in some neighborhoods, Southwest Gas has replaced Driscopipe 8000 lines that were active. We wanted to know why, and Southwest Gas executives explain next Thursday at 10 p.m. during the second part of our investigation. I'm Melissa Blasius, ABC 15 Arizona.
To see if there's been a past leak where you live or work, check out our interactive map online at abc15.com/investigators.
Now to Southwest Gas publicly acknowledging for the first time that it's seeing enough deterioration on some active Driscopipe 8000 lines here in Arizona that it's replacing entire neighborhoods worth, trying to head off future leaks. Southwest Gas operates 10,000 miles of Driscopipe 8000, which the manufacturer had warned can become brittle and crack under certain circumstances in desert climates. It's a type of gas line that leaked, leading to this explosion at a Chandler strip mall last summer. 4 men seriously hurt. Southwest Gas execs previously said they could eliminate the danger by replacing a small subset of pipes. It wasn't until ABC 15 investigator Melissa Blasius went door to door in Mojave County that she uncovered the company was also quietly replacing miles of active lines. Here's part 2 of her investigation.
Hello, sir. Oh, hello, ma'am.
Months of research led us here to Bullhead City and neighboring towns along the Colorado River, some of the state's hottest places, also places with the highest concentration of past Driscopipe 8000 premature degradation leaks. The ABC 15 investigators mapping more than 140 past leak locations reported by Southwest Gas to state regulators, including some that involved explosion or fire or evacuation.
I didn't know about it until you said something.
We found Jessica Wilson's neighborhood, Sunrise Vistas in Fort Mojave, had a cluster of past gas leaks, 3 failures in Driscopipe 8000 lines from 2013 to 2015.
On the bottom street, when you go around the curve, that they had a gas leak because you could smell it. If somebody finally reported it.
Southwest Gas fixed that leak, and crews returned in 2016 for a major project.
You can see right here on the street where Southwest Gas has marked in yellow letters where their line runs underneath the street, and you can even see the line on the street going all the way down. Neighbors in this Fort Mojave community say that the company replaced all the gas line in their neighborhood, down every street, and up to every person's individual gas meter.
Once they tore it up, we couldn't leave the house or anything.
Jessica remembered because it was inconvenient, but it's also significant new information because these were active service lines and mains. Active lines. That is a departure from Southwest Gas's past statements about the risks of Driscopipe 8000. See here, the company's website says premature degradation may occur when all these specific conditions are met, including the pipe has gas inside, but it's not flowing, like an inactive service that's been disconnected from a house or a pipe that was never extended to a customer. That's called a stub.
Those are really a very small part of the M8000 that we have.
Last fall, company officials also told the Arizona Corporation Commission getting rid of all the inactive services and stubs in the hottest parts of the state would all but eliminate the leaks and explosions.
It should be, in my mind, essentially zero.
When Southwest Gas officials met with ABC15 last week, the company's director of engineering services confirmed some active lines distributing gas to homes and businesses are also deteriorating, but no actual leaks have been found so far.
We've trained all of our field personnel and contractors to recognize what external degradation and internal degradation looks like. So when it's seen in the field, we have processes and procedures to cut out a sample of pipe, send it into our lab.
And if the lab finds any internal degradation or external degradation that's at least 10% of the pipe wall's thickness,
we are proactively replacing them in the event that they could cause leakage in the future.
Do you know how much of that you found and replaced at this point as a company?
I'm sure we have that number. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Southwest Gas still has not told us exactly where and how much active Driscopipe 8000 line the company has replaced in Arizona. But the company is reporting what's being replaced over in Nevada and why it's being replaced to utility regulators in that state. ABC15 showed one of the Nevada reports to Arizona Corporation Commissioner Anna Tovar.
We'll continue to hold the company accountable.
After talking with ABC15, Tovar sent this letter asking Southwest Gas to provide quarterly updates on all Driscopipe 7000 and 8000 leaks and replacements in your Arizona service territory, and to identify any individual projects in the same geographic area that required both main and service line repair or replacement.
I'm always more to advocate to be proactive instead of reactive, especially in this situation. Could potentially be, as you said, a life or death situation.
The first quarterly report is due June 15th, and Southwest Gas says that it will formalize information that it's already sharing in discussions with the state's Pipeline Safety Office. The company told ABC15 when it comes to repairing or replacing Driscopipe 8000, their risk assessment algorithms prioritize leak cluster areas, like Sunrise Vistas. Homeowner Jessica Wilson says she's not surprised Southwest Gas did not fully divulge to neighbors like her why the pipes in her neighborhood had to go, but she's relieved to know that she has newer, safer gas lines now.
Very good thing. This is a good neighborhood.
ABC15 will be asking for those quarterly Driscopipe reports to see exactly where new leaks are springing up and to show where Southwest Gas is making these major gas line replacements to prevent future leaks and improve long-term safety. I'm investigator Melissa Blasius, ABC15 Arizona.
The ABC15 investigators learning more about where a problematic type of natural gas pipe is located in Arizona and how much is really being removed or replaced.
The Driscopipe 8000, it's the same kind of pipe that leaked, leading to an explosion at a Chandler strip mall, injuring 4 men.
Yeah, and since then, ABC15 investigator Melissa Blasius has been digging for answers on this, about how our heat can make the pipes deteriorate faster than expected and where else it has leaked.
At Ray and Rule in Chandler, Platinum Printing got the worst of the blast. Brothers Andrew and Dylan Ryan owned the company and were inside that morning.
Neither of them have been able to return to work or full function.
But Southwest Gas has known for more than a decade that it had miles of gas line called Driscopipe 8000 that could prematurely degrade in the hot desert climate, meaning it could fail, leak, and lead to explosions. Southwest Gas started a targeted Driscopipe 8000 removal program for what it considers the highest risk pipes for leaks in 2015 after a different East Valley explosion.
It's good that Southwest Gas is now going out and removing these and replacing them, but they also need to let the citizens know, hey, Bullhead City, you got a problem. Yuma, you've got a problem. East Valley, you have a problem, so that people can at least have a fighting chance.
This week, Southwest Gas has filed a publicly available report saying exactly how many miles of this problematic Driscopipe 8000 line exists in each Arizona city and how much is being replaced on a quarterly basis. We've put the report online at abc15.com/investigators, as well as a map of the included cities.
Is it in my alley? Is it under my kid's school? Is it at the grocery store I shop at? It's everywhere. And I think people have a right to know.
Southwest Gas has provided some of this information previously to the pipeline safety regulators at the Arizona Corporation Commission, but last month, Arizona Corporation Commissioner Anna Tovar wrote Southwest Gas asking for these quarterly reports to be posted online that would include more details about where the pipes exist and where they're being replaced. This came after ABC15 learned Southwest Gas was quietly replacing entire neighborhoods of Driscopipe 8000 where there had been clusters of past leaks.
It is a massive public health and safety issue and hazard and should be treated with some urgency. And I'm thankful that Commissioner Tovar is at least adding a layer of transparency.
In the first report, covering the first 3 months of 2022, Southwest Gas indicated they have not done any projects where they replaced both active gas service lines and mains near prior leak locations. During that same time period, they stopped gas from flowing to 2,257 inactive services and stubs made of Driscopipe 8000. Southwest Gas considers these pipe segments to be at high risk for leaks. These abandoned segments are a very small fraction of the total in Arizona. Southwest Gas eliminated about 11 miles of a 10,000-mile Driscopipe 8000 system in Arizona. The lawyer for the Ryan brothers says with summer temperatures getting hotter here, Southwest Gas needs to implement a longer-term plan to replace all Driscopipe 8000 before it blisters, cracks, and leaks.
They certainly should prioritize those neighborhoods and areas where they've known that they've had a high number of leaks, and they have to remove everything and replace it. It's not going to be fun, and it's not going to be cheap.
I'm investigator Melissa Blasius, ABC15 Arizona.
I'm sure you'll want to see if your neighborhood has a history of Driscopipe 8000 gas line leaks. To do that, check out an interactive map. You can see it all there online at abc15.com/investigators.
First and only on ABC15, a story of survival.
1 year ago today, Glenn Jordan was nearly killed in a massive natural gas explosion. That explosion caught on camera at a Chandler strip mall near Ray and Rural.
Glenn was working inside an eyeglass repair business when he was suddenly engulfed by fire. Today, on the anniversary, he is speaking exclusively to ABC15 investigator Melissa Blasius. Melissa spent the last year exposing ongoing issues with the type of natural gas pipe that leaked and led to that blast, and she's back at the scene tonight.
That's right, Javier. When we were here a year ago, this entire area was covered in glass and insulation and roofing pieces, and even big pieces of plywood were all over this parking lot. Tonight we have our live drone overhead showing how it's been cleaned up here. The debris and the devastation gone. The facade of this shopping center still up. At the same time, 4 men who were seriously burned in the blast are still trying to recover a sense of normalcy, especially Glenn Jordan, who was right here inside his eyeglass office that morning. And a warning, some of the images in this story may be hard for some to see.
Glenn Jordan was alone inside All American Eyeglass Repair at 9:23 a.m. on August 26th, 2021.
Boom! You know, you see flash.
He was blown back.
I remember getting hit in the head. I thought my ears were on fire because I kept trying to pound my ears. My thought is that I'm on fire. So I just went back to that 3rd grade thing. Stop, drop, and roll when you get out.
Glenn climbed through the shattered glass windows and got on the ground.
I looked at my hands. I could see all the skin was gone. So I just held him up and held him there.
This 59-year-old husband, father, and grandfather was burned over 40% of his body. 2 doors down at the print shop, there were 3 other victims, Dylan and Andrew Ryan and Parker Mildebrandt. Glenn recalls a friend showing up beside him, a phone call to his wife, and the doctors and nurses waiting at the burn unit.
The back doors of the ambulance opened because I could see the visual of them. And next thing I know, it's September 20th.
4 weeks in a coma. The pictures of him at the hospital are hard to look at. We can't put most of them on TV. When Glenn finally opened his eyes, he remembers the nurse.
And I said, am I going to live? And she came over closer to me. She goes, we're going to do everything to make sure you live. I said, okay, tell me what I got to do.
This former mountain climber and softball league player put that same athletic intensity into recovery, even though he often felt like a 3-year-old.
And then they bring physical therapy in and they're going to grab little pieces of foam to see if you can grab it and squeeze it and even hold it in your hand in between your fingers without dropping it.
His voice still raspy from vocal cord damage. Glenn had to relearn how to eat and relearn how to live his life.
That is it. Today's got to be better than yesterday. I don't want to look too far ahead.
Now, a year into the long journey of healing, I did ask him this.
What do you hope to accomplish, or what do you want for the future?
Glenn's answer was not something for himself. Take a listen.
That you don't ever interview anybody about this again. That whatever is out there that's causing this is taken care of. I don't want you or any person in the media to be sitting in front of someone and have to ask them any of the questions you just asked me.
Glenn Jordan there, obviously hoping that some action is taken in order to prevent future natural gas leaks and explosions. As for the leaky pipe involved in all of this, some samples were taken from behind the shopping center, and that they were actually tested in a lab just earlier this month by state regulators, who say their final report on their explosion investigation should be done a few months from now. I'm investigator Melissa Blasius, live in Chandler, ABC 15, Arizona.
Thank you, Melissa. The ABC 15 investigators started looking into issues with the Driscopipe 8000 gas lines about 8 years ago after a similar explosion in Gilbert. We found Southwest Gas has known since 2005 this type of pipe can prematurely degrade in the desert heat. The company increased leak patrols and expedited removal of most at-risk sections. While leaks are still happening, Melissa's reporting has led to better transparency about where this problem pipe is installed. We uncovered clusters of past leaks across Arizona and put their locations on this interactive map. You can find all our reporting on gas line safety on abc15.com/investigators.